Hi everybody, welcome to this video on Friday. I thought I'd share that Dr. Feelgood posted because it's a real sad news to hear about Wilko Johnson, who died a couple of days ago. I mean, I was introduced to Dr. Feelgood by like a Best of Punk CD, and it was like Milk and Alcohol, and I thought, wow, what's this amazing song? And then got a little bit further into listening to them and realised that wasn't even, there was a whole new world beyond even that amazing song to get into, which was the whole Wilko, because that wasn't Wilko, so the whole Wilko world of Dr. Feelgood. What a band. Absolutely nothing like them. Unbelievable. Sounds so simple. But, without being pompous, if you've ever played in a band and just played even, basic sort of rock and roll stuff, you think that sounds easy what they do, right? You listen to She Does It Right or something. And honestly, it's not that easy. And I imagine that they recorded their first two albums just probably in one go and then overdubs, like 8-track maximum, probably definitely with Down by the Jetty, their first album. It's just so impressive is the point. Plus the fact that they were all pretty much hungover, or, I know Wilko, that wasn't his thing, but anyway, so real sad loss. What an amazing guitar player. If you ever there's a video on YouTube of him showing how he plays guitar, and he's at like a bookshop, and he's just talking through it, and it's amazing. And if you play guitar, you have a go at it, you go, yeah, I can do that for about 10 seconds, and then you try and do it all the way through a song at the speed that they played, like, Rockstar Live or something, and you think, it's unbelievable. Anyway, sad loss. Wilko Johnson is amazing. I think I might save up and buy a telly. Right, what have we got today? Okay, so we've got me a little list of things to do. I've got records, I will get through it. Again, I'll try to keep it short. Okay, we've got the gig. I'm using the iPad today to film this because my phone started to go all shaky. The camera's knackered on it. So I'm using the iPad, so I don't want it to slip out of so I might have to hold on to it. So anyway, tomorrow, did I just do that? Did it just go all blurry? God, sorry. Production value. Can you see that without the iPad falling over? That's the gig. Got the gig tomorrow. The Werra Foxma Showcase. There's going to be loads of people coming to it. And really can't wait. It's going to be really exciting. They're going to be playing. We're going to have two artists playing in this corner. We're going to have the actual label just playing some tunes in the afternoon from about 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock. We're going to have some of their stuff to sell. And I should be getting more Castles in Space. I have a little section here. These labels are very similar, aren't they? So I've got the Werra Foxma section there with some amazing records in there. Should have some more tomorrow. Got a little Castles in Space section with some stuff here. And I know Colin's sending me some more, itching my nose. Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. Colin's sending me some more of their new stuff. So some stuff that's not available anywhere else. So thank you, Colin. And we'll have that for sale in the shop, hopefully tomorrow. Right, let's get into the records. What have I got? I've got my little list. I was just showing you that. Dr. Feelgood. I mentioned that. Werra Foxma. Oh, National Jukebox Day the other day. Anybody know that? National Jukebox Day. They were cleaning up this bad boy, so it's looking a bit better. I mean, there's only so much you can do. We're not gonna strip it and paint it or try and get rid of the the patina in this. We're just gonna keep it. That's as good as we're gonna go. It's gonna keep that original. We just want to make it sound as good as possible and function right. Got myself locked in today. That's so no unruly customers can come in shouting for Mamas and Papas albums. Bit cold though, isn't it? Right, let's get into it. So, might drop you down a bit. The production value of this is absolutely second to none, isn't it? I mean, there's definitely a career in Hollywood awaits me. Some lo-fi, band video, at least, who like the idea of this just incompetent approach towards video making. I mean, it's amazing anybody watches this, but, people do. So, what have we got in today? Is that tight in here? Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty? If it just, collapses over, that's loosened it. So, let's put that there. Got a mixture, as you'd expect. We've got some interesting collectible stuff. We've got some more affordable stuff, all going in a box. We've got a load of colouring in stuff over there. So, when you come in to buy your records, if you're undecided whether you want to spend, 400 quid on Led Zepp 4, come and do a bit of colouring in, and then, buy it. Okay, help me get through Christmas. or go to the Discogs store. I've got a Discogs store, you can all visit that. So what have we got? We've got some 7s. We got a little Christmas section and we saved these back for the 7s. It's worth coming in just for Tom's comments. Tom's priced these. He says that Jonah Louis, Stop the Cavalry, looks like some Eastern European black metal cover. Which, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Pipes and drums of the band of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, and Tom's comment is that's his second favourite song of theirs. This was number 1 on the day I was born. You know when there's like a website you can look it up or whatever it is. I remember finding it out and I thought, oh great, I think I missed T-Rex by about a week. Or my mum did. My mum couldn't hold on for T-Rex. So it's this. Alright, that's that. So there's loads of the Christmas songs, you know, Shaky and Christmas and blah blah blah. I'm not putting any of them in the jukebox. They're not going in. It's just gonna be all good records go in the jukebox. Right. Bend you down. So there's those 7s, so they can go there. Some more interesting stuff. U2 Actung Baby. I've got Zeropa as well. These are in pretty good condition. They're not particularly cheap. This is the uncensored version where I think there's like a rude... Is it on the back? Oh, yeah. There's a rude picture of Adam Clayton on the back. I've just covered it up. Now, I mean, you know, I guess I can see why he's done it, because if I played bass like Adam Clayton, I'd want to do something that distracted away from that. You're not going to ever watch this, so I don't really care. If you think I'm wrong, Adam, come in the shop and, you know, you can tell me, all right? So there's that. So that's a collectible U2 album. Sparks, this is Kimono in My House. This is in amazing condition. I sold a few Sparks. I had a guy online buy one, and he bought a Woofer in Sweetest Clothing, which is like a promo. And but he sent me a message because it was like 130 quid or something. And he sent me a message to say, look, this would be the most I've ever spent on a record. And I just replied back with, look, you're worth it. Spoil yourself. It's in amazing condition. It'll be fantastic. And I also replied with, it's nowhere near the amount of most I've ever spent on a record. And he bought it and he's delighted with it. I think it's a keeper. So there's always that records bring happiness, right? I think that's why a lot of people collect records, because they don't answer your back. They bring happiness. What else have we got? Searches. I've got a load of original Searches stuff. Some of it is pretty collectible. What's that one? And that one's 50 quid. Take me for what I'm worth. But again, they're all from that collection I mentioned. They're all in really great condition. Searches, about 7 minutes in, about 4 records down, so let's crack on with it. Load of Searches stuff. Affordable comps, you know, I think from all the videos I've done previously, I've got loads of these affordable comps. They all go out between, like, I don't know, 2 quid to about 5 quid. And then there's some more collectible ones. They're now ones that get a little bit more collectible. Still got more Warren Zevon. Again, all in near mint condition. There's quite a few of them. Big Brother and the Holding Company. That's a European repress. Janice. I love the Dillards, right? It's a really weird mixture of bluegrass and kind of country rock. I love them, and I put them on in the shop last Saturday, and basically got told to take them off, and nobody liked them, and I was disgusted. They're an amazing band, and if you like any of that sort of stuff, then listen to the Dillards. They do a great version of Stop Scratching My Nose. They do a great version of I've Just Seen a Face, Lennon McCartney. It's amazing. But then get onto, I'm sure you all know this, but get onto Flats and Scruggs, who influenced them, who are the fiddle and banjo players who did most notably the Beverly Hillbillies theme tune. But don't listen to that. Just listen to any of the other stuff they've done. They are astonishing. And then there's a whole world. I sort of started getting down that kind of bluegrass. Just the musicianship is unbelievable. Best I've really heard. But what do I know? It's from a record shop. Cheap Thrills, 1982. More Dead, Shakedown Street. Again, I'm going to give them a go. I'm going to give the Dead a go. I'm going to see what I'm missing out on. Right? Jerry Garcia, solo album, all in near mint condition, all came in this collection near mint. Meatloaf live album. It's a real mix today. Mule Skinner, don't know what that is. Not Mule Train. Mike Nesmith, got more Mike Nesmith. I showed you some last week. This is a comp Major Brill's Texas Rock and Roll. Is that a comp? Yeah, I think it's a comp. Yeah, it is. There's a track on here by a chap called, I'm presuming it's a bloke, Tutor Boatman. Tutor Boatman. He's got to be American with that name. Happy Thanksgiving to anybody who's watching this in America. There'll be nobody watching this in America. There's only like my mum watches it like 5 times. I think my sister watches it, and you know, and I watch it about 9 times, and I go, "Oh, my great." But if anybody is watching it from the States, happy Thanksgiving, I guess. And why has everybody got silly names? I mean, I'm sure I was in the most recent midterms. I saw some senator. Was he a senator or a congressman? And his name was something like Boozy. Something like Love Booze or something like that. Boozy Drinker, something. Honestly, it was a great name. Brilliant stage name. I don't know who Donna Fargo is, but if you do, you're in luck. I don't know what this is. I'm so on it, and I run this record shop, and I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at, which is great because I'm learning as I go. No idea what that is. The records, Shades in Bed. He looks pretty confident in himself, doesn't he? I wouldn't buy it just because he looks like a bit of an idiot. Wax, Magnetic Heaven. I've got quite a bit of this. Is it Andrew Gold? Out of 10cc, obviously Andrew Gold, and then in Wax. Remember that odd video from the 80s if you're of a certain age. Some, again, more... This collection I got had loads of these Edsel comps from the 80s. Some of them are quite collectible, but they're really great. Look, you've got Screaming Jay Hawkins on here. So this has got some absolute belters on it. A kind of rock and roll type stuff. Michael Stanley Band. I just had a Half Man Off Biscuit lyric flash through my head then. Let's not go into that. Again, loads of this kind of folky rock stuff from this collection. Phoebe Snow. These are all pretty cheap, going out between 5 and 8 quid. So there's loads of affordable stuff. There's loads of collectibles, loads of affordables. Seals, Crufts, Greatest Hits. Everybody's going, who are these artists exactly? The Rowans. Don't know. Aren't they a family of neighbours? Poco, Under the Gun. All in near mint condition. David Lindley, looking delighted to have made an album. Look, he looks absolutely over the moon, doesn't he? Which way am I going? Look at that. Price Cuts. It's not the name of the album. It's just what happened to it when nobody bought it. Davy Johnson, smiley face. I mean, I guess you look at... If you did an album cover, what would you do? I mean, would you put on a picture of a toddler? I wouldn't. I just put a big picture of me, just going like that. Which is why I've not made an album. Plus, you know, I think I might just put a record label together just to put out an album just with a picture of me doing that on the front, because, you know, why not? Life is short, right? Dan Hicks, I'll stock it in the shop and just have every record in the shop just with that. So as you come in, it's like, oh, have you got any Supertramp? Oh yeah, it's in the Supertramp section, and there's just not. There's just like 10 albums of that. you can tell I just make myself laugh because, you know, why not? New Riders of the Purple Sage. I hadn't heard of these, and then a couple of people came in the shop and they had. I still haven't played it, you know, but I've now heard of them. Jack Tempin. 70s, man. The 70s. Now is the time for Hearts and Flowers. There you go. Bam. 20 quid. Folky rocky stuff. Andrew Gold, Wax. This all came from the same collection. Genesis, Invisible Touch. You know, do with it what you will. It's got Land of Confusion on, hasn't it? And there's a great version by uber pop metal rock band Disturbed, do Land of Confusion. And it's all like super double kick drum, really highly produced nonsense, but it's great. Give that a listen. That's boss. Blue Ridge Rangers. Anybody have any idea what sort of genre this is? Death metal. Okay, Blue Ridge Rangers. Keynsham or Bonzo Dog Band. This is a repress. I've never seen this album, but this is again on Edsel. So anything on Edsel is generally a repress. a couple of labels like that to do some interesting stuff. So there's a few Bonzo Dog band records in which everybody should frankly own. Can you still see that? Move that back a bit. Firefall. Talking about Supertramp subconsciously. I was singing Supertramp on the way in today. This is one of the first albums I ever bought. I think I got this for like a couple of quid back in the day. I thought it was both an ace cover and all the songs are just boss, aren't they? I mean, everybody thinks like Goodbye Stranger, Logical Song, but then you Bloody Well Right. I remember thinking, singing Bloody Well Right when I was about 10. Breakfast in America, brilliant. Take the Long Way Home, obviously. Crime of the Century, great. Dreamer, Give a Little Bit. Remember that tune? You're all singing it now, aren't you? Because it's absolutely boss. Supertramp are great. Remember in university, some bloke was, like his uncle was the saxophonist of Supertramp. He had all this like Supertramp memorabilia. More Genesis. Oh God, Genesis Duke. I think I'm down to about my last 900 copies of this. I know. Honestly, I sold a copy because of the tote bags. I sold a couple of Ultravox. But anyway, Raging Eden. I've still got a good, healthy amount of Ultravox albums left. They're not going anywhere. Apart from on next year's Bonfire. Tasman Archer, pretty reasonable. These are all of them are in very good plus near mint condition. Maria Mulder, singer-songwriter, female singer-songwriter. This is Agnes Bennell. Father's Lying Dead on the ironing board. Okay. So, I think I'll play that. You got to play it, right? Looks like it's going to be kind of moody Edith Piaf sort of stuff, doesn't it? I bet it's not. I bet it's like children's album or something. Barefoot Jerry, you can't get off with your shoes on. You can't get off with your shoes on. You can't get off with your shoes on and then wearing no shoes. See, that's the sort of philosophical question that I kind of will ponder. Maybe they should put that sort of stuff on the curriculum, shouldn't they? General studies. And they should have comment, discuss. Where are we? Rodney Crowell, Ain't Living Long Like This. Okay. That album probably didn't live long like that. Ray Charles, The Love of Mine. You can't beat a bit of Ray. Cheap Genesis album. I mean, people... Well, nobody really asked me why I don't particularly like that Genesis, but I still struggle to get into it, and I think it's because it is basically that pompous. Millie Jackson. Cool, there's a few Millie Jackson albums. Kind of soul-y pop stuff. Great. Oh, and that one's got a free Millie Jackson LP in it. Someone basically had put another Millie Jackson album in there. I mean, you don't have the sleeve for it, so we'll include that one in there. Now we're talking. Beverly Hills Cop 2 soundtrack. We've got a load of folk. We're just pricing it. We've got all this Dubliners stuff, and we're just pricing it all up at a fiver. It's all in near mint condition, so there's absolutely tons of Dubliners. I think if you're lucky, some of them even include like Christmas cards from the Dubliners, because the person we got it from, they were like best mates with them or something. So absolutely tons of folk. Look, Dubliners. They even look like they got the same sleeve. Dubliners. We realise, other record shops have much more funky collectible records than the Dubliners, but just being honest, this is what we got. We got absolutely tons of other stuff in. This is what we priced up this week. Monkeys. It's one about 10cc before, mate. You had a right blast to Supertramp 10cc. Some absolute belters. Dr. Buzzard's Savannah Band, Washington, disco. Again, loads of comps, loads of these relatively inexpensive comps. This is one of the first Motown ones, early 70s, done. That's in really good condition. Usually they're absolutely battered by being played. And it's not your usual stuff on that because it's one of the earlier comps. It's some interesting stuff. Obviously, Supremes are on it. But you've got like Junior Walker. Junior Walker and the All-Stars. One of my first introductions to kind of soul as Atlantic. Well, he wasn't on Atlantic, was he? He was obviously on Motown. But Roadrunner, obviously, the first ones I ever heard. Junior Walker. Ike and Tina. Tina absolutely owning it. Amazing woman. Fantastic. And then, you know, I suppose I should do some sort of like album of the week, shouldn't I? Or some nonsense like that, one I've actually bothered listening to. I'll put this on. And because, you know, who's not going to put the best disco album in the world on? And because I noticed, I thought, really? It's got Funkadelic on there. And it has. It's got Funkadelic. Do you remember that Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood, that kind of like disco version? It's got that on it. Rolls Royce, Everything's Car Wash. Remember Wishing on a Star? That's cracking. Ashford and Simpson, Sister Sledge, Funkadelic, Unleashed Under a Groove. It's actually got some absolute belters on here. Absolutely amazing. Mick Jackson, I thought that was Millie Jackson. And then it ends with, should end with Funkadelic, but it ends with Hooray, Hooray, It's a Holly Holiday, which is, let's be honest, the worst Boney M song, isn't it? I mean, but, so that's, while you're all going off to your other funky record shops and buying, you know, whatever reissue of Lou Reed or whatever, then I'll be listening to this. That's the sort of nonsense that we have in our shop. Right, 21 minutes, back to normal. Yeah, everybody must be delighted. What else? We've got all the usual storage gear. You know, if you come in the shop, we've got all that stuff. Come to the gig tomorrow. It's going to be really good. It's going to be free. Right, I'll get off. Have I done everything? Let's have a look at my list. Ooh, national show. Yeah, come in the shop, buy stuff from me, help keep me going. Local artist stuff over there. Yeah, have a nice weekend, everybody. And I will catch you in the shop and come to the gig tomorrow. Okay? Bye.